Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Shane, and thanks for tuning in. Today, I wanted to do something a little different. I'm going to be going through one of my old sketchbooks that I had. This has been sitting in my drawer for a while, and I promised that I was going to do a sketchbook run, and so this is going to be one of the first ones. And so from this, you're going to see some different stuff, some different sketches that I had, and what I collected in this little notebook. And so let's get started. Let's take a look at this. So one of the first things you'll see here is about a few years ago, I was working on a story named Dalton Chase and the Elementary School of Doom. I was working in an elementary school, and the being in that setting, being with all the kids, sort of put me, and reading the kids' books, sort of put me in this mindset of creating this story of this little boy named Dalton, who was starting his first day at his elementary school, and things are not as they seem. There's some evil robots. There's an evil kid named Neville Mastermind and his right-hand man, Jaws, of course. It's a very James Bond based, very, the theme of espionage, very action, a little bit of comedy. And so that's just sort of some different things. This would be one of five because I had five stories planned, and I still do. But making this comic book took so long, and it was probably one of the biggest projects that I was going to take. I drew comics in high school, which I'm going to have to show you guys sometime. It'd be really exciting. And so this is one of the characters that I want to do. I wanted to get back into that. But drawing comic books and coloring them, it's so tedious and so time-consuming. And so you're going to be seeing some of the sketches from that first book. This guy, his name is Woodruff. About a few years ago, I was working, not working, but I got in connections with this Christian publishing company, and I wrote them sort of this poem story of this guy named Woodruff, and it tells the story of this creature who is made of wood. He has like hair like a willow tree. He's from this tiny little village, and he's wanting to know the purpose of life. And he goes on a hunt for the writer of the universe, and so he has these little matches that help him on his journey. He's wearing claw poppers. And so it was sort of like this Legend of Zelda art, the Wind Waker themed, sort of where I wanted to go with this. Very Samson-like character. And so I wanted to make a front page. I wanted to make a front page cover of that character and of his adventures. And so I drew originally him standing on this sort of rocky perch, looking down at all this adventure that he was going to go on, and everything on this page was going to be his adventure wrapped up in one picture. And so there's like the big title for it. There's a little cabin with these little cloud rams coming out of it. These sort of like rams made of mist, sort of what they were. There's one of his matches, and I don't know, it was sort of caveman-y. It wasn't really my favorite. I didn't really like it, so I drew another one in which I still didn't finish, but I was inspired by this poster from Shadows of Mordor, the Lord of the Rings game that came out a few years ago. And this is Woodruff with all of his matches walking down this trail, and he was going to go meet all the characters on this front page. And so there's the cloud rams, there's creatures made of mist, there's the wind going, the forest there, all the dancers in the forest, there's still the cloud rams there. There's one of the characters. His home is in a lake, like it's underwater, and he can't get to it because it's possessed by this creature known as the Drip Drop. And so there's the ship, there's one of the creatures that he'll meet later, an opening in the sky, something that I didn't really get to finish. It was a cool concept, but I didn't need it, so I didn't finish the drawing. So there's that. This one was fun. So when I was a kid, I of course, big into superheroes. Imagine that, right? And I wanted to draw Superman, but I couldn't draw people very well. But I could draw characters. I could draw animals really well. And so there was a squirrel that went by, so I made this character known as Super Squirrel. Now, Super Squirrel exists already in the DC Comics, and so obviously this character wasn't going to go very far. I had written stories in high school for a portfolio, and it was actually really cool. And then I had another character named Cat Mouse, who was sort of this billionaire mouse who was afraid of cats, and he used that armor to sort of be this cat Batman, sort of character. And when Batman vs. Superman came out a few years ago, I wanted to put my characters in with this universe. And so that's sort of what I did. Oh, this was 2015. So yeah, about 3 years ago. And so that was that. That was really fun. And in the same idea, as soon as I get this picture, and in this same idea, I had some other characters. I had like a Justice League of Animals, and so there was a dog-like creature named Sprint, and then Doc Clock. And Doc Clock is actually my favorite cartoon villain that I've ever made. He's just this little pocket watch with these little springs and then little hands that are supposed to jab at him, and he can't hit him because he's so fast. And this is actually, it's really cute. I love it to death. And this was hidden away in the sketchbook. There was multiple ones like this. There was like a collection of different pages of different characters, but I don't know where they are. I'm going to find them in another sketchbook. So anyway, there's the cover for Dalton Chase in the Elementary School of Doom. Colored wise, it's okay. I really wanted. I like the letters being yellow, something about it. And so I used a lot of marker. I used coloring pencils out the wazoo. This is where I was trying to figure out lighting and textures within suits with blacks. I didn't know how to do that. I wanted to make the wording kind of crumbly. I didn't like, because they're still so spaced out. You know, give me a break. This drawing was from a long time ago. Probably 2014, 2015, something like that. So this was before, my art started to really take off. So some different colored pages there. Some more pages of the book. This took so long. I put a lot of thought into it, really, and I really wanted to be something big. And so there's some of the pages there. He has a flight suit. There's like a time down where the plane that he's on, it was going to explode, and he had like a flight suit that he had, and it would deactivate when he got into the school bus, and kids know who he is. Some different stuff goes on. He meets a new character named Kyla, meets Barty, who has this huge book bag. I was trying to discover lighting and how to shade that and everything. Kyla looks more like an adult more than a kindergarten kid, and I realized that, after, because I don't know, kids were a little hard for me to draw, and I know heads are always big for me. I always draw heads really big, and so those usually start off first, and then I just go on trying to portion the body out from there. She's telling a story about the school and about how bad it is, and these were going to be little teasers for the next stories that I had. And so, the school is really bad. It's surrounded by a thunderstorm. The lunch ladies are from Mars. The hallways are haunted. And the janitor's closets are always mysterious. Which, this was supposed to be like hieroglyphics for janitors. So there was like a mop bucket, there was a mop, there was a spray bottle, all those different things. And so it was going to be, and I even wrote like a list of letters with their symbols, and I was actually, I don't even know what I was trying to spell here. I don't even know. Like, probably like enter at your own will or something like that. And there's a principal mastermind, and there's like scratch marks where the kids would go in and they would never come back, something really cute. So they're going down the hallway, and these posters were something that reminded me of the elementary school that I worked at, because it seems like they were trying, you want to keep the kids good, and that's a good thing, and it's fine, but they were like really stern about it. And so these posters were going to be like, remember, a quiet student is a happy student. Smile, we're always watching you. There's cameras everywhere. And eyes up front was something that I always heard at the elementary school. And it seemed sort of like this tyrant. They were pushy on the kids. They really wanted them to be good. And that's sort of where the inspiration for the school came from. And so Barty has the Super Soaker 5000. Oh, this is the first page of the book. So Dalton Chase wakes up. And he says, most kids wake up to alarm clocks and mommies and daddies, but I wake up to ninjas. And all these different ninjas. We're just going to fight them. And so he's trying to get ready for school. And he's trying to get dressed and everything. And all these zombies, wow. Ninjas are trying to fight him and everything. There's the ninja stars as he dodges and eats his breakfast in the air while he straightens his bow tie. Dalton Chase he's the crap. He's a cool cat. So the Super Soaker, when I rewrote the story, This isn't the final story. That's why I'm showing you this. I took out the gun. I didn't like the gun idea. I just thought they were. I don't know. I thought the gun was going to take too long. Oh, it was not going to take too long, but it was kind of dumb and silly, so I took that out. And so new character Veronica. There's Neville Mastermind. So there's some sketches of the color pages you just saw. Of course, you can see those. The fizzy TV, I was trying to capture like a snowy, like a fizzy TV. This is the MOM of the department, you know, like his mom. And so I think I actually like the pencil version better than the colored version, if I'm going to be honest with myself. Because, I don't know, there's just something really cool about it. But I wanted to color it. I wanted to make it legit. And I don't know. I guess it never will. But that's okay. You know, it's fine. I still have this to look at and see, you know, different concepts and different sketches that I had and everything. So going on, yeah, Neville. There's Jaws, of course, with his mouthful of braces. You know, I wasn't very good at drawing. Like he's trying to like hold his knuckles like he's gonna crack and he's angry. I don't know. This sort of reminds me. It's sort of like if James Bond met Captain Underpants. That's sort of what these sketches remind me of. Going back and taking a look at them again. So there's the robot. Yeah, there's the robot there. Oh, the recipes for something. If you want to pause it and take the recipes for that, I don't know. Barb wrote me a silly little letter, silly little love letter. So anyway, the robot goes crazy. And then there was this sketch. This was my favorite sketch of the entire book. I love this because I don't know, it was just something about him running away and then getting zapped by this robot. I don't know, I just really love this. I just love this. It's so cool. So going through it and everything. Veronica saves his life. You know, she has a water gun of her own. She's this mysterious character all of a sudden. So some more sketches there. I don't know. There's ways to crack down on the bad guys. We need to be cracking down on the bad guys. You know, just something that was just really something really funny. And so, sort of, yeah, like I said, Captain Underpants meets James Bond. So Neville reveals his evil mastermind, putting all the robots on the rocket there. So anyway, 3 o'clock exactly. Hoo ha 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 ha, you know, the typical bad guy villain laugh. And then on the next page. And so I was sort of stuck. So I made some notes of the story, where I wanted to take it next. And I made this page, this interactive page, where kids or readers or whatever could take these characters and go on this participating adventure. They would interact with the pages and everything, and they had to go through this maze to get to the clock tower, where they needed to go. And they would cut out these little lightning bolts and put them on the little robots. And of course, you had to stay out of the way of the cameras. And if anything, this was really fun to make because then I had to make a little puzzle that was sort of kind of hard to think about. And I looked at all these different mazes and how to make a maze on YouTube and everything. And so this was actually really fun to make. And so yeah, there's that. They get to the clock tower. Things happen. Slam. Joss comes in and he squirts them. And this was bow ties are cool. That's a Doctor Who reference. I think I was actually watching this as I drew that. And so he's like, "Help! Help! I can't swim!" And he's only squirted with water. And so silly idea. But the next page, this was cool. Oh, well, for me, drawing it was cool because after a while, you know, I had this for months. Drawing a little bit better, and so I wanted a sketch to where all the robots could actually go into the giant rocket, of course, and I wanted to make it huge. I knew I wanted to do that, and Dalton's like, "Whoa!" And so, yeah, so that was really cool. They can't figure things out. This was so funny. He's like, "Oh no, we gotta stop him now," and so that was, I don't know, it was really funny for me. Blank page, so some notes on it. Yeah, so Dalton presses the big red button, and then they're like, "Oh no, what do we do?" And I was gonna have another countdown page, and then I realized after I had the first one, why do I need a second one? And so he pulls out the water gun, and then how in some comic books there's like a quick panel, a series of panels that show the action of it. So him running up to the rocket, getting the flight suit, flying up to the top, and then pouring the super soaker into the rocket. Oh, that's some different character ideas that I had. Not relevant. And so it was sort of a cheesy idea, really, and it was just sort of a way to end the story quickly, because I was getting really sick and tired of it, and so I just wanted to finish that up. It's like, and the entire rocket fills up with water. It explodes. It has no idea. Oh, well, never mind. And so this was sort of the to be continued page. Veronica said, "You still got work to do. There's still plenty of things." It's like, why did the floor automatically start to float? I don't know why I drew that like that. That's silly of me. I don't know why I did that. And so his work isn't done. And this was, prepare for your missions. Like, wow, good. I was trying to get bored. So this was sort of like the to be continued page. So Neville and Bart are in front of Principal Mastermind, Neville's dad. And once he finds out everything, it says, everything that you've done, I'm going to put you in permanent detention forever. And he just falls into a hole. It just goes into detention. Jaws is being taken. He's being taken away. He's got this power red tie, and then there was another character named Miss Kills People, and of course I drew it out like that. Kills people. But when I rewrote the story, I changed it to not. It's kills people, but not kills people, because it's not a violent book, but still she's sort of like this evil teacher, and that was going to be the end of the book. That was going to be a to be continued part, and then I was going to work on the second book, which was going to be Dalton Chase and the Lunch Ladies from Mars. And this one, since the first one was very James Bond themed, this one was going to be very time travel themed. So I had a Doctor Who character, Dalton is dressed up as Doctor Who. Bart is dressed up like Doc Brown. He's got a little Sonic thingy. His hair's crazy. Kyla is dressed up like a horror from Star Trek, and they had this time machine, and the aliens were going to be here, colored in purple, or colored. This was going to be white. This was going to be purple, and so to sort of bring out the villains. But I never got around to drawing it, to getting. I got like the first couple pages done, and then I didn't really finish it because it was so tedious, and it took so much time. This was going to be at the end of the first book. And it was sort of like a teaser for the next book. And so somewhere in deep space, these two aliens on this little asteroid are playing golf. So a little golf ball flies by, and this one's like, "Good shot, Marvin." And all of a sudden, this time machine, comes into the view, and it's there. And then Dalton pops his head out, and he says, "Hello there. Can you tell me which way it is to Earth?" And they point in that direction. He's like, "Thanks." And then it disappears. And then Marvin passes out. He's like, "Marvin, no!" And that was going to be sort of the teaser for the next book. It wasn't going to be related to the story whatsoever. It just going to be a fun little introduction to the next book. And so these two aliens are just fun. I want to know their story actually, because they were just fun to draw. Oh, this section of the sketchbook. So this was sort of, I was really into the 1950s, 1960s golden age superheroes, and I wanted to do my own collection of sort of these Christian-themed superheroes. Super cheesy idea, because we all know how Bible Man worked out, and so that's kind of where the inspiration came from. Although it was very cheesy, I wanted to go with that Jack Kirby sort of inspired artwork, and so I made this character known as Captain Christian. He was going to be the leader of this group of people. There was going to be Izzy, the God Wrestler, my personal favorite. He's sort of this Macho Man, Randy Savage sort of person. Israel, means God Wrestler. Izzy, the God Wrestler. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so there was Night Star, sort of be like the Power of Light, Infinity Man, this other character known as Holy Spirit or Holy Ghost. I changed the name at the end. I didn't really, because I thought, I was like, that's a little risky if this becomes anything. So I changed the name, sort of like this Spectre sort of character, sort of, his ghost hands. And so then I want to draw another set of characters connected. I don't remember who these people are actually. But there were going to be characters that were going to be connected with that. So that's in there. I started drawing on the I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my sketchbook flipped around. Here we go. I was working on the second book for Lunch Ladies of Mars, and started off as Dalton getting breakfast, getting this mush, and he doesn't like it. He's sort of disgusted. He's like, eee. And this is going to be more Charlie Brown art, was sort of the inspired for this. So the lunch lady, of course, roars at him. He's like, yeah, right back at you. And, growls at him. This, things got a little bit better in this book, but I realized, it was going to be a little tedious drawing all this, and so I decided just to write the book, and then I would do the comic book later, just some different notes. Completely blank page. Didn't even touch it. So there's some different stuff. A new character's introduced called Toby. He's sort of this big character. Not big as in big, but he's going to be this character that was going to be huge in it, just like Veronica. And then just never got around to finishing it. And so the book will be written one day. Maybe we'll see what happens. And that's it. So that's it of this sketchbook, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want more, comment down below, I guess. Do that YouTube thing. And so I'll see you next time. Same place, same face. All right, bye-bye.